Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan Samantha Butler. Yeah, you know.
Okay, there's some sort of joy. You gotta follow me here because, I've automated most things.
Wait a minute,
Crystal
wrong.
has. I don't know.
Just jumped right on in.
Okay, something is wrong. Okay, a lot just happened and nothing happened because he passed the bug. Immediately he was like, "Well, something I enjoy. I didn't do it. Crystal did." Like there's a lot going on. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There was a lot happening right there.
His brain is going too fast.
Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about the level of automation within our homes. And you guys bust on me all the time because my level of automation is not adequate. It's not good.
Yeah. You're supposed to be the tech guy. It's you're living in the Stone Ages.
I will agree with that.
But
I deserve that.
So I saw on some Facebook ad that they have these things that basically they go on your curtain rods. And they're like a tiny robot.
Oh, the little box. Yeah, I've seen the little box.
You put it on there, and then it works with Alexa and your phone and like everything else. And then you can say, "Open your curtains," and then the robot on both. You have to get two of them, obviously, even for every window. And then it'll go, and then it basically it goes along the rail using like its little tires. And then it just pushes the curtains because they're usually on loops or whatever.
Yeah.
It just pushes them open. I guess you need one on the other side. How does it pull it closed? I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, for like
maybe
these,
they only open.
See, these we have some sort of cheapo, what are they called? Like
those are
flat blinds or, like level-or blinds, as my mom used to call them back in the day. Level-or, that's a brand.
My mom,
that was a brand that my mom was like, we can't get them unless they're level-or blinds. I declare, you got to have the level-ors.
There used to be a salesperson from Level-or. They used to come to your house.
Hi, I'm the Level-or salesperson for 3 windows. That's $18,000.
Yeah.
3 windows. They even get my dad's like, God damn, not even all the windows.
Anyway, here's why.
But I used to put foil on my windows.
Here's why this is a step too far for me, who's into automation, because I contend there's a certain psychological joy or benefit you get from opening the blinds at the beginning of the day. It kind of signifies here I am, world.
Starting the new day.
Opening it.
Okay.
The sun.
Do you do that?
Because
I didn't see you as a guy that goes and opens the blinds and the curtains and hello world.
Well, I got some plants that I need to get to the
It all comes back to his trash bundles. All those little
Plant
plants.
daddy.
Yeah, so that's what
all
got me.
All these little roots wrapped up into these horrible little bounty paper towels stuffed in Dixie cups all around the room.
But in the morning, there's some sort of joy I get about opening up the curtains, and then it's like you're welcoming the day. And I don't know if that should be automated. Like you're taking that away from yourself.
Well, you don't have to do it. This is for people that want to.
Okay,
have it.
I will agree and disagree with you. I will agree with you on these curtain movers. But I will disagree with you if you're the guy that has the one-piece vanity shade that goes up like the captain's deck of a cruise ship that reveals your pool and mountains. Oh, that needs to be automated.
Yeah,
you can't just pull it with a string. That's going to be that's underwhelming.
We're talking about trash people, Chinese junk.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, when you get the actual the blinds that are just go up and then show the mountains, or that's your millionaire. Yeah. That's an impressive thing. And in fact, that takes away.
It's like
you're doing it digitally, and you're still getting the same.
To me, it's like hoverboard versus one wheel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One wheel is an actual, legitimate, nice, well-made, fit and finished product, where these little hoverboards are just, that's just trash. Right?
Yeah.
It's a battery trash. Is that what you're saying? So you got the blinds that can open. It's just a little doodad you put on there for trash people that want to be fancy.
Yes,
or you can be mega fancy. Either way, you can be the fancy one is the only one that's approved.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And all I'm saying is that there are things in life day-to-day minutia.
Tracy has the expensive one. She even says, she says, I have 5 automated blinds out back that I can control each one individually.
That's
great
nice,
for keeping the sun off the TV outside.
That's different. I'm talking about you have curtains and then you pull them open like in any, you know what I'm saying? It's always in movies.
I only do it in hotel rooms.
And the birds come tweeting by.
I usually do it in hotel rooms.
Like Cinderella, to start her day, she swirls around and opens the curtains.
That's an old person thing.
That's what I'm just saying, but
that's the oldest thing. You do that?
That signifies the start of the day, and I think that's psychologically important. And you take it away if you have some.
You start your day. You know you should start your day the way that all the rest of us start our day, though, especially the way I start my day. Grab your phone, check it for damage.
Yeah.
What happened over the night?
What did I do last night?
It may not even be me. What happened in the world? What's on fire?
What's going on?
Who died?
Yeah.
You know, what's happening? What disease is happening? Then you got to go into emails. That's how I start my day. Look through anything bad, anything nothing bad. Okay, show's still on. Everything's all right. That's way before I even get to blinds.
So what other thing are we robbing ourselves from, like the benefit of?
Well, see, I don't find that as a benefit. So it's robbing your joy in the morning, but I don't even do that. So
do you have big curtains?
I do.
Hold on a second, sir. You're inching in.
Hold on.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to exit.
Mark that.
I'm gonna have to exit this program because I have apologies there, Bubba the Love Sponge, but that's not the type of show we do. So I'd appreciate if you stop talking about my producer's curtains.
Mm-hmm.
But this all leads us into this thing that Samantha showed me.
My big curtains? Wow.
No, it was it's an Amazon grocery store that's completely there's
cashierless.
Oh yeah, this has been around since 2016, y'all.
No, but this is not check yourself out. This actually
it's cameras.
Yes.
Yeah, the sensors and pressure sensors and cameras and literally there's no checkout. It's just whatever you
walk in, walk out.
Whatever you walk out with, it charges your account.
Yes.
Yes.
And so there's no and when she showed me this, I was like, this is probably what everything will be.
Yeah, why not?
You want to hear a little bit of it? Here's a little video. You can watch this. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store?
Now, I've seen this. This is from 2016, guys. This is old.
So Amazon started with the convenience stores. So they started testing it with convenience stores, and now they've moved up. Last year, they started doing like full-on grocery shopping. Full-on grocery
Grab
stores.
what you want and just go. What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No line.
None of these people are wearing masks. It's weird.
No checkouts. No registers.
So when Samantha showed me this, it makes sense. We're moving towards this way anyway with the self-checkout, right? Like there was a while where self-checkout first started coming up, and then I remember people were like, "Well, this is weird." Like they were against it at first, like every new technology. People were like skeptical.
I'm against everything in the beginning.
They're like, "I'm supposed to scan my own stuff."
Yeah,
like people are mad at it.
I'm pretty much
Some
that guy.
people still are.
Maybe that's why. You know what's funny is that I am really into technology. I really enjoy it, and I know a lot about it. But initially, I'm always the guy saying, I don't need that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad about it. I was so bad about it at Clear Channel, or I never worked for iHeart, but at iHeart, that they yelled at me because I like the old commercial system better than the new one that they put. Do you remember that? They were always, I'd always complain like a dumb old man.
Well, those are set in your ways.
Yeah,
like everybody. I am too. And
definitely set in my ways.
But it makes sense that like if you're a company, you're like, hey, how can we get rid of these employees? They're expensive and they stink. Like the employee and people talk like when they see these types of things, the first thing they go do is like, oh well, people are gonna steal so much, or it's not gonna be foolproof, and you're gonna lose a bunch of revenue.
They've already factored that in.
Stealing, yes, and also guess what's way less expensive? Them stealing a box of noodles compared to getting sued. People paying like a workman's comp.
Where your employees harassing each other is far more dangerous than somebody stealing a box of
paying
noodles.
for their benefits, all that.
Plus all the ones that fall down and they sue you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, think of how many Walmart employees
They're trying to do an upper decker in the bathroom. They fall. The tank breaks, stabs their ass, and they go to the hospital. That's on you.
Or one of your employees like accidentally hurts the other one and they sue. Like lawsuits cost them millions of dollars. Like who cares about a can of beans?
Yeah.
Like steal 100,000 cans cans of beans. It doesn't even equate to the cost of one employee. And everything is going to go this way, right? Like,
I think so.
We probably will have, besides from like people customer service wise, and there's still that.
Well, you'll need it, right? Because you'll get there and your wife wanted you to get some particular type of mushrooms and you've never heard of them before, and you're like, excuse me, and there's no robots walking around. Well, no, like in the store, like you don't know if they have it and you're looking around. I wonder if they have any in the back. Remember when that was a thing?
I bet they'll have inventory on the app though.
That's not a thing anymore, right? The things in the back?
No,
they everything's out.
Everything's out.
Yeah.
I
find myself as a dumb old man. I do that. I go, well, maybe they'll have like White Claw. I'll go to buy Clementine White Claw 70 at the ABC. People like that one. There won't be any. I'll be like, I wonder if they have some in the back. There is no back, you dumb old man. I'm talking to myself.
Well, it's like kind of like the new social media, like viral videos of the dude like pretending to work for IKEA. He's like some comedian, and he's just complaining about like basically doing retail jokes for people that work in retail.
Right.
And one of his jokes is like a customer asking if there's something in the back. Like maybe you have it in the back. Like
I do.
Like, everything is on the computer. There's nothing hiding back there. There's some dusty old calendar that tells us our schedules. That's it. But yeah, and these things, if they do start to pop up, I mean, people are going to be weary, and just like the self-checkout and everything, they're gonna be like, I don't know about that, but slowly it'll
happen.
Yeah, I blew my daughter's mind, and I'm not afraid to explain that I'm a trashy dad. When gathering party supplies, I did have to take my daughter inside a bigger ABC, and they had a walk-in cooler.
Yeah.
And I took her. I go, you can go in here. I was also being dumb old man checking to see if the White Claw 70 was in the back. It wasn't in there because there is no back. But regardless, the walking in the cooler.
She'd never been in a walk-in
She'd never
cooler.
been in one. She was like, what is this? And then she asked me, which is a very, very, it's a great question. Are we allowed to be here? Mm-hmm. That's a great question, right? And I knew that I'd parented correctly because I liked the little bit of fear she had. You know, she's like, we shouldn't be here. And I was like, no, I think we're allowed if we were buying kegs or something, but we're not, so we'll get out of here.
That's the rule follower gene. Tommy's got that.
Max,
Max will follow me anywhere. We'll never question. But I do. I will follow anybody anywhere.
I've seen him
I
do
won't
it.
question anything. But if you're a rules follower, you'll question.
Yeah, I like it.
But I feel like the only places that are going to have, because think about it, like even
what do you really need the customer service for anymore?
Old hardware stores for finding bolts, because the bolt.
Yeah.
Seriously,
sometimes I need knowledge. You know, like sometimes I'm going to the store.
Yeah, but no employee at like Home Depot or Lowe's or like they don't have no knowledge.
I'll go to Ace, the one right up here,
where there's
old. I don't mind plugging them. I mean, whatever. They're right up the street. Tools, Ace Hardware, the one on Colonial. I like that one.
But that'll die out soon, and soon it'll just there may be specific stores you go to like that are one off like everything's more expensive, but they do have an old man that knows about bolts that everybody goes to if you need that.
The bolt man.
But for the rest, like literally, I was YouTubing how to do something in Lowe's because that was going to give me better information than any employee there. Like I'm looking around these employees like this teen has never done.
It's just a job.
Yeah, they never done plumbing. They know nothing.
Hardware's not their passion.
You know what?
Well, then a lot of these customer service jobs. Let's take a Best Buy. Let's take a big box Best Buy scenario, right? Aren't a lot of those? I mean, there used to be a time where having a ton of knowledge about TVs was valuable not only to you, your bottom line, your job, but also to the customer. Now, everybody's already got their research done by the time they get there. Now, most of my friends have already looked at the menu before they get to the GD restaurant we're going to.
Time.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing now.
If you
culturally, that's a thing now.
And if you want someone to tell you about a product, there's someone on YouTube that's good looking that will tell you well edited.
There's probably a young girl on Twitch that will sit on an inflatable unicorn in a hot tub and actually give you decent knowledge about it.
And they'll compare all the other products. Like they do all the work for you. Like literally everything is better curated on the internet than it is in real life.
You're taking one of my topics.
It's got to be.
You're stealing one of my Friday Free Show topics. I can't buy. It's harder for me to buy things now because there's too many reviews to watch before I get to my purchase, and I don't know which ones to watch. Because they're different. So you do have to, because I was watching one about, those Apple, I have the AirPod Maxes, the massive over-the-ear headphones. Yeah. I'm a bit of a headphone junkie, but you guys that have listened to the show, I've done radio for 40 years. Why? Of course I am. So I've got these Apple headphones that are amazing, but I watch so many reviews about the good ones, bad ones, this one, that one. Like, I don't even know where I'm supposed to get my knowledge from now.
Well, you could over-research, and then you start getting into a hole where, That's
what I did with rooftop tents. I read too many reviews. Talked myself right out of it.
Well, yeah, because then you start getting into it. It's confirmation bias, too, and we're all subject to it. I think it's basic human psychology to kind of want to find the information that you believe rather than, you know what I'm saying? If you are going to something, like believing something, you're going to be more pulled towards your opinion and read the reviews that, you know what I'm saying? The ones that you don't agree with, you're like,
look past that one.
Like it just happens.
Well, then you should just buy what you want and not read any reviews.
Well, now the problem is that there's so many, like, Chinese garbage scams out there that you're having to navigate, like, all right, because we're kind of back to believing into a brand more than a non-brand. That for a while that didn't matter, but now we've been so burned by garbage.
Well, you and I have, yeah.
That it's like, for instance, I bought Max a new pool goggles or whatever, like for basically a mask. For usually they're for ocean, but my boys use them for the pool. Or
yeah, those said as may. Like
they get the chlorine in their little baby.
That's a generational thing. All kids are like that now, Sam. I'm sorry to report.
And it's clear. So it's more fun.
Yeah, it's not just his boys. Like, honestly, Maisie will pitch a damn fit
you
if
all
she don't have her
opened
goggles.
your eyes underwater.
Yeah.
Do you think that had any effect on your eyes? You guys have pretty good eyes, though.
No, I'm relatively blind right now.
It didn't have any effect, but you couldn't see anything. It was just blurry. Like, I still go into water and open my eyes with my sons.
I do it now.
And they can do it. It's like, and it doesn't bother their eyes that much, but seeing super clear.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Is more fun, Plus, like, the masks now, back in the day, they used to be like, made in America, 100% American rubber.
Full on, no, it was glass. Tempered glass, a 25-pound mask. That thing would kill Max. Max doesn't have the strength to hold it. Black, jet black, and then a metal ring around the outside that would hold the glass in there. And then if you left that thing on the deck, it would melt to the deck.
Yeah. It's straight
dangerous.
Pure American glass.
Made of full black
with metal rim, rubber,
full on Bridgestone black rubber, like tire rubber.
Yeah.
Heavy as hell.
Will last forever unless you in the sun and dry rot fast.
Yeah, well, my dad would never wear anything other than a full-on American black Firestone glass mask.
So now you can get one for $7, like made in China. That comes to you, but I will say that the ones that are non-brand or whatever, that are not like Speedo or some sort of
Speedo's a good brand,
or some sort of like brand that you recognize, are straight garbage.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you got to read the reviews,
or they got hard edges.
Well, the first
I get non-brand stuff all the time.
The first 100 are BS.
We got some goggles for Maisie that the interior was supposed to be the soft rubber around her eyes. You put that thing on, it had spikes in it. It's like literally like shards of metal into her face.
They've learned too, like, to fake the reviews too, and you have to read them and kind of like they're all BS when they're written like.
You have
this
to sort
product
through
is
the box.
best product I've ever.
This mask of Rock and Roll USA. It makes swim time 57 Chevrolet, French fries, apple pie, football. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds good.
And then hold on, there's
bye now.
There's 3,400 5-star reviews and none negative.
Yeah, like, that's pretty good.
That's a lot. Not one negative. Seems suspicious.
This mask of Rock and Roll.
Yeah. So then now you have to vet all that. I don't know. It's probably a cycle where we'll figure out, like, if you buy stuff, I imagine our kids will be shaming us for buying anything from China. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something there would be pushback. Like, you're buying.
That's already kind of happening.
Pollution. Yeah. You're buying pollution.
Well,
garbage.
Even you and I've pulled back on buying all that stuff. I mean, we don't do the tchotchkes. We've been second guessing all these little. We used to try to do keychains and pens and little.
Yeah. We do some tchotchkes.
Well, you can't get away from some tchotchkes because you need some kind of garbage to give your trash listeners. But, you got to have something to feed the wolves when they're at your door.
The just stamped plastic keychain tchotchke.
I can't do it.
It's just a plastic.
I'm telling you right now,
straight garbage.
I used to make those.
I don't know if you're going to want me to cut this out or not, but I can't even. I have a hard time with the koozie orders now.
Yeah.
We got a lot of koozies.
We
man.
do, and I think we've single-handedly destroyed at least 1/3 of a rainforest with all the koozies we've made.
Hold on. I'll defend koozies for a second.
You are the greatest koozie defender I know.
It seems like koozies end up in people's drawers, their koozie drawer.
Don't ever talk about my wife's koozie drawer.
But the
First
problem
my
is,
blinds, now the koozie drawer.
the problem is though, then you have 85
curtains.
koozies in your koozie drawer, and you're like, what are you gonna have? An
Okay.
85-person
gonna-
pool party
I'm
that
all-
everybody like you have too many
Right. I'm
gonna
koozies.
blow
You gotta
your
punt
mind.
them in the
But they can be
landfill.
repurposed.
I'm going to blow your mind, and I'm going to blow your mind. Those koozies. Now, wait. I don't think I've ever told anybody this. Those koozies, do not keep your drinks cold.
yeah.
I've used...
Depends which one.
I've used all of our koozies.
Yeah.
And not one has ever worked for me. In fact, I think I'm just putting a sweater on my drink and actually making it warmer.
Also, we're all alcoholics, so we drink fast,
Yeah.
and our
They never get hot.
There's a reason I walk with 2 White Claws to the couch. I don't walk with 2 because
one's
I need
a
an
walking
effing- I don't.
drink.
Yeah, I don't need an effing koozie.
when I finish anything I'm drinking, the can is still freezing cold.
Yeah.
Like,
What I need to do is take those 85 koozies and make a rope and hang myself because I'm an alcoholic. That's what I need to do.
Yeah. And it seems like when I do have koozies, what happens is then I get
The only koozie that works is that big metal Yeti one, and that thing weighs 175 pounds. It's like an old mask.
but also-
I have one of those Yeti.
Yeah.
And that thing will keep a beer cold for 3 days, but our koozies do
who
not
needs
work.
that though? Like,
Nobody.
And also,
you're
you
like,
have to
I'm still
unscrew
sipping
it.
this Bud Light from yesterday.
No,
No,
it's
you're not.
like a uranium container at the end of your beer. You have to unscrew the top.
yeah.
And then you go pull, boom, boom, and then it pulls out. Then you go get another and put it in. I could have already drank 4 beers.
Yeah.
I don't need
This
that.
is ridiculous. Like,
It is ridiculous. I'm anti-koozies now, man. I don't want to buy them anymore. And sorry, Tony. I know Tony and I've been warring. You can go to tomanddan.com if you want to see how he got me
We do
back. He
make too many
photoshopped me
koozies.
next to a duck.
It's
We
all,
got stocking koozies.
and by the way, I have a White Claw in my pool or whatever. I'm sitting there and no koozie, and I know that there's 800 of them in my
Yes.
garage skater, like a koozie
Yeah.
drawer. And then I'm just like, oh well, hopefully they're too lazy
Too
to go
far,
get it.
yeah.
We should have a meetup where we encourage our listeners to drive to a Qdoba parking lot and bring all their koozies and
Burn
pile them all up and burn them.
Yeah, we burn a koozie burning party. It's the whole like, black smoke.
The people, the Qdoba people, are like, "We've done nothing to you. You guys are you just yell our name as a joke because we have a weird name and you're burning koozies in our parking lot. We're just trying to make some burritos, man."
Like,
I've seen people
they won't
make
burn.
coolers out of them, purses out of them. I don't have the talent to do that, though. That's the
You know what's
problem.
awesome is a purse made out of purse material, not koozies. Leather. I'll give you 1,000
cow,
naga
yeah.
hide. I take naga hide.
Yeah.
Any
Not
material.
wrong.
Like the
You know,
yeah.
it's the same thing. My wife wanted to buy this purse one time in the Bahamas that was made out of gum wrappers. I'm like, newsflash, gum wrappers are trash.
Yeah.
You just want a trash purse.
Yeah. You got a trash purse, and it's making no one feel better.
It is. Every time you
Well,
look
see, like,
inside
Like
of
the
it.
duct tape wallet.
Yeah, every time you look inside of it and you see juicy fruit written 1,000 times, you know that somebody that might be dead now made that.
Yeah, and by the way, you made a trash purse out of 32 koozies. I printed 10,000 to drop in the ocean. You could have done this your whole life. I've already eliminated
So
it.
now you have. So,
just this company alone has ruined anything you've tried to do.
yeah, and let's think about what you accomplished. If you made the.
you can we're printing them out
You
faster.
made a dress out of koozies. Let's think about what you did, right? You made a koozie dress. Now you have a dress. You have an Essie dress. It's not cool.
He's about to spit his string out.
I'm sorry.
And-
I'm
and then
I'm
I-
laughing because people are super nice that do this.
I know.
And, and I feel like they're listening. They feel bad. They
I feel like they're talking about me
yeah, they're just sad. Driving like, oh man.
in their koozie dress.
In the koozie dress. Yeah.
You could make a steering
they're
wheel cover
driving-
out of
Yeah,
koozies.
no, but the
You're
worst-
hot. I know you're hot right now because this koozie's got to be hot.
Yeah.
And
Turn
the
your
word-
air
itchy.
on. You know what? I'm going to stop talking. Turn your air down to 65 and I'll just act like I never said this.
Yeah, but they only
it's
wore
fine.
it once, and then they were hot, and they're like, this
Yeah.
stinks.
Exactly.
You know what's better? Any synthetic material that doesn't biodegrade.
Yeah, it's like most guys that buy hockey jerseys in Florida, unless you're a fat guy and you have to wear it. You wear it one time and you'll never wear it again.
Yeah. You wear it to
hot.
one Solar Bears game, and then you're like, God,
Oh
it's
my
thick.
So hot.
They have a new, look up the Solar Bears' new slogan. It's so bad, I love it. It's the best thing in the world. You're going to love it.
Are they in the playoffs?
I don't know, but they have a new slogan. Oh, if any of our hockey fans need to let me know what the new Solar Bear. It's something about bear. It's like
I feel like I saw it too. And now I can't remember.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah,
dude.
and I'm like, yeah. I was like, yes.
That's good. You need that.
Yeah, it's fun. It was definitely fit the whole like we're coming back, we're ready to party.
Yeah.
You know, it smacked of like funny, but also a little lazy. So I liked it. I thought it was well done. You want to take a break?
Yep.
We can take a quick break and come back with more. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
Dan, Samantha, Travis, all of the folks that you know.
Let's do a voice message.
Yeah, voice messages. You can leave us voicemail messages 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-TOM, the letter N, Dan. And I will check those. I check that about every week. And then most of our messages come through our app. You can find that wherever you download apps. Let's go with, this is a good one.
Hey guys, BDM Jake from Tampa here. I was curious to hear your thoughts on what the hell the point of vibrating beds in motel rooms was all about. Like, it was always something that was sleazy and seemingly sexual related, but I don't fully understand what the hell the point was. Curious to hear your thoughts on it. Anyway, SFT.
I honestly don't believe that it's a sexual thing. I think this falls under the category of you made it sexual. I think this was for tired, over-the-road salespeople or truck drivers, and they just wanted to vibrate their sore muscles.
I just told my husband like a week ago that I want one of these.
What? An old one? One of the coin-operated ones?
I just want a vibrating bed.
I think we can get you a coin-operated vibrating bed.
It lulls me to sleep.
Well, there's like you're shaking. These things because I'm with the caller.
Here's the hyper vibe vibration machine.
I don't believe this was for sex, man. I think we made it that because that's how we ruin everything. This was made for the old. I'm out selling vacuum cleaners. I hit my territory for the third time today.
I got the history, guys.
Okay.
Before they became a standard cliche involving, quote, adult motels, vibrating beds, originally operated by a staff member who manually shook the bed, were often prescribed as a remedy for a variety of health ailments by doctors in the early part of the 20th century.
Oh, she's got AIDS. Shake her bed.
So, literally...
the one invented in 1958 was named Magic Fingers.
That's my AOL screen name.
You can't use that anymore.
So, this was originally some cockamamie, old-timey remedy for
it's like that thing
sore
that goes
muscles
around fat ladies' bellies that shook your belly to make you skinny.
Yeah.
Well, we got one of those, by the way. You put Tiffany back on it during the Predators days, right?
Back in the 20s, we had vibration and cocaine.
Yeah, that's all we had.
And they're like, throw that at it. No, still dying?
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
I don't know. Give me a little bit of that sweet, and then throw me on that vibrating bed. That's a pretty good time.
But I remember as a kid growing up, the vibrating bed was at like motels that like for, I guess, hookers.
Like love motels.
Or love motels and stuff. And then I wonder, but there's also the whole doing it on top of a washing machine and it vibrating it, making it better. What is that?
Well, I thought that was. I don't think you were. I thought the wife was supposed to sit on the.
it,
I don't think you were supposed to do somebody on the.
Well, the wife was sitting on. The wife is sitting, but the thing is
the
vibrating.
Whole, Howard Stern private parts sit on the speaker thing.
Okay, I apologize. I thought that was a single person activity. I did not know that
it's
was
both activity.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm down for learning.
So
didn't know that.
Basically, we just thought vibration because there's vibrators, that.
Yes, there are.
They're vibrating. Pull that. This is a new impression I'm working on. It's called Bumpkin Goes into Spencer's Gift. They vibrated. Thank you.
So that is true, like the vibration sensation.
Here he goes.
I wanted to hug you and tell you I love you just now. Like, man, I love you.
As soon as it goes out his mouth, he knew.
Look, I'm crying. It's so natural. That is true love between two people. I wanted to hug you when you said vibration.
You guys can lay in a vibrating bed together.
God damn it, man, I love you so much. It's just natural with you, isn't it? It just comes right out.
Well, could it be better? Okay, follow me. Because
no, I'm not following you.
There's been so many, this has been portrayed in so many movies. And
even in The Sims. Did you guys used to play The Sims?
Yeah,
They all had vibrating
beds. But they were
coin
operated.
Yeah.
vibrate. So I honestly
we need to ask Fairvilla.
I think I hit this one. I think that it was not a nefarious sexual thing. I think it was coin operation. Like she says, it was a health benefit thing. And I'm going to go a step further and say that they at that time they thought that was fancy.
Yes,
that was
absolutely.
technology, man.
Well, it's just like the early massage chairs were just chairs that vibrated, and so it doesn't give you a massage. But they didn't
we all had that friend that had one of those expensive vibrating chairs, right? The big billowy poofy lazy boy, and then it had the remote control that came out the side, and then
hardwired big thick cord,
and then they put a piece of plastic over it, so I guess you kept or the plastic would bubble up. It does keep the J out. And then it bubbles up over time.
Yes.
And you would sit in it. It was just gross. I mean, just kind of opulence. And
it didn't feel good. No. It just vibrated, and you're like, all right, this is shaking my kidneys. But it didn't, it's not relaxing. It doesn't have, the rolling motion. Now it's got, little...
balls and
balls. Those things kind of hurt,
Yeah,
right?
well, they're supposed to. It's more of a deep tissue shiatsu massage. But I can remember as a kid, I'd go into Brookstone, and that thing would start at the top of my shoulders, and I was too small, so it would be on my head, and those shiatsu balls are whacking my head, and then it would go down my back, down my back, down my back, down my back, right to my spine, then it'd go to the under part, and then it'd get my boys.
That's called the Watson.
Yeah, and then it'd sit on my boys, and then I'd be like, well, I hope my mom takes a little more time in JCPenney, because this feels very good.
Here we go in the magnet again. Jimmy Buffett has a song called This Hotel Room that has a line that includes, put in a quarter, turn out the light, magic fingers make you feel all right.
Well, Jimmy Buffett also has, why don't we get drunk and scream? I went on a Jimmy Buffett kick over the weekend. I was arguing with you guys that his first 3 albums are actually okay, and I've never been more ashamed in my life.
But it's got to feel better. Okay, think about it. It wouldn't have gone on for so long and had this rumor of the sex hotels.
So we're talking about the folklore.
I think it's a thing that men made up in their heads, like the washing machine thing. I think they think, if it vibrates, it's going to make the girl feel good.
Well, we don't know what makes women feel good.
I know, that's why this rumor happened.
Yeah, I'm agreeing
with you. What do you do? The thing on the top? What is that?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Top hat.
It looks like a piece of meat. Oh my God. What is it?
Oh
my God.
I don't want that.
Somebody's steak tip fell out. Jeez Louise, you didn't cook that one. That was not cooked. Put that back in
that?
Yeah, what is that? Put that in the dog bowl. It fell on the ground.
It's got if you had let me ask you this. We did this experiment where you did it on a bed that didn't vibrate and vibrated. Would there be any better experience on the vibrating bed at all?
This,
5%, just something.
Is this like a newer one? In our Twitch chat room.
They do have newer ones.
Yeah, Tommy G says his vibrates, right?
That's what he said.
Was he get a fancy bed, like a sleep number, or one of those?
Sleep number is not fancy, by the way. Seth said, I got a sleep number, and it's just a Coleman air mattress.
Well, they have degree. I mean, you can go big baller.
I know, but I wrote I'm like, there's 2 air mattresses in here, some tubes.
This guy was so bad.
This is not some hardcore technology.
Tommy G has the adjustable base that that makes me laugh too. But that vibrates. So your question is, if I made love to my wife on the vibrating bed that Tommy G has with the adjustable base, and I made love to my wife on the normal purple mattress we have now, just a normal, would I get more of a benefit or enjoy the vibrating mattress? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yeah.
It's something. It's something, right?
It's a sensation, right?
Yeah.
I like... and maybe it would make us laugh or something. We'd be happier. I don't know. I'm down with it. I say yes.
This guy, it would increase the enjoyment level by some percentage. It wouldn't decrease it.
I don't think it would, unless
it distracted
unless she couldn't get it in her mouth and things. That's
a lot of vibration.
No, we're talking about nachos. I had ordered gringos earlier.
So
pre-game.
And then it just stopped. And I
never put another coin in. Oh, you mean the fad?
I think it probably died out in the 70s.
It's still going strong.
In Love Motels type of deal?
Are Love Motels still around? I don't know.
Hope not. That's disgusting.
But there's tons of new mattresses with vibration
a Love Motel
options.
is just a place to go to make. It's just that's not a good thing, right?
Probably in retro hipster motels and hotels, right?
Yeah.
For like nostalgia.
Because an actual Love Motel is just a real bad situation in bad part of town that's for hookers, right? Like it's the tiny hotel that you bring your hooker to and you rent by the hour, right?
Yes.
And it's real bad.
And it's not even by the hour. I mean, I think you're, 12 minutes and you're trying to get out of there.
Well, but you have to rent it by the hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you hang out the rest of the time? I don't.
No, you get the hell out of it.
But I
You're
tell her,
ashamed.
but I am a gentleman. I'm like, you can stay here and you can do your drugs. Just please don't OD. Chivalry is not dead. And I bid you farewell.
Yeah.
And then I tell her how much I love her and how I'm going to leave my family for her.
Yeah,
But I don't mean any of that.
Bad.
And then I get in the car and I cry because I realize what I'm doing is bad.
I do like the traditional Florida motel that has all the rooms, like 2-story.
Yeah.
All the rooms out front.
Big air conditioner, loud.
Big loud out front, leaking water.
Yeah, with the metal door of the air conditioner that whoever you're rooming with, namely Tom, will go and adjust in the middle of the night and let it slam, waking you up.
Oh, yeah. That's like there's some comfort, like even though it's some of the real
that
shady.
goes back to your blinds. That's the big blinds. You know,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
wake
yeah.
up, you got the big window, and you go, and you open it, and then there's somebody, and you close it real fast. Well, if you're me, I used to stay in those things when I was a kid. I would open the blinds, and then my mom would scream because she's coming out of the bathroom with her boobs out.
Yeah.
And I'd have to pull it back because there's some man looking through the window.
I like there's 2 sinks in that weirdo area that's before the toilet and the shower.
Then you got 2 cups wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
Tiny
By the coffee
You got the
machine.
tiny quilted ice bucket. Why do they quilt and make the ice bucket padded?
That's the koozie of the ice bucket.
Why is it padded though?
No.
Doesn't need to be padded.
It's to soak up the stink.
Oh.
Yuck, dude. That's one of the grossest thing you ever said. So the sink and the bucket's in the padding?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw up. I never thought about that.
Something needs to soak up the stink.
My God, you just made me spit every... That's gross,
The
dude.
mold.
Stop it. Oh, my God. I think my dad stole one of those from the president's staff out of Acapulco. We used it for years. It was his prized possession, my dad's stinky ice bucket.
But by the way, we all ate that ice and those motel ice machines.
Oh,
And by the way, I looked at one of those giant
my buddy
industrial
used to
ice
pee in
machines.
those all the time.
my
not
God.
Yeah, first thing you do on a soccer trip, we go on a soccer trip.
Yeah.
We go to Tallahassee
What?
for like the junior, Florida championships. We're in Tallahassee in a state cup, and we got 4 rooms. All these crazy
Teen boys that pee
They're
and
literally monkey boys. They're animals, right? They're teen boys. And the first thing that this one, I still know his name. He still lives in DeLand. First thing he would do is run to the ice machine and just the biggest
terrible.
yellow vitamins ahoy.
Yeah. And so I looked
Who
at
would even think to do that? That's a
teen
sociopath.
boys.
He was a genius. He was a genius.
All teen boys are sociopaths because we just want to ruin things.
Yeah.
Like you just want to ruin it.
The only way I could get my daughter to smile at her dance recital over the weekend was to whisper the b-hole word in her ear. Then she smiled. I take a picture of her real fast. And I run away.
All my friends they go on all the instruments and band class and the walls and everything. And they're and then anytime anybody got caught and there's some adult like, why would you do this? We're limited funding.
I don't know. And the answer is always I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's a complete idiot, teen boy.
Yeah.
Anyway. So they said you have to clean out the lines once a month because this literally stopped me from buying one of these industrial ice machines because I was like, I want an industrial ice machine that makes like broken ice, like an old sub shop ice machine, you know. And I started looking
you were
for
in
one.
one of those modes where you got so drunk that you needed to like. I do that too. I get so drunk that I want to help my drinking get better by enabling it with technology.
Yeah, and so I wanted one of those, but all the reviews are like you have to clean it. And you have to go through this cleaning process once a month because mold gets in the line.
like
Yeah,
cleaning-
even the little ones are hard to keep
It's like
clean.
cleaning the tap lines
Yes.
of a really good beer bar. Like places here, like a place like Red Light that is known for the best tasting beers on the planet they get, right?
Yeah.
They are always cleaning their line. I mean, it's probably every day.
And that's when I realized I ate a lot of mold when I was a kid because
Yeah,
none
me
of those
too.
motels,
No.
for damn sure, never cleaned out the lines once a month.
Do you clean out the lines in your fridge ice maker?
No, that's made for residential.
I don't, but I do pee in it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but no, like they make
That's
those
sterile, right?
for lazy, like regular people that don't want to do any clean. Like the industrial ones, like hey, makes 82 pounds of ice a day. Like you have to.
It's
the sheer volume.
It's like good cookware does not have nonstick because at that point you are supposed to be a professional.
Yeah.
It's not. You don't get all the little safety bells and whistles. It's literally this is an industrial ice machine.
We need the dodo. My eggy stuck. We're idiots. Like you give the dodos all like
dodo proof.
Yeah, dodo proof because they'll ruin it.
Well, we got time for one more before we. I was going to say before we skeet out of here. I don't know what that means.
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. I contend that
I don't like the beginning of this voicemail.
He's peeing in an ice machine.
Did you hear that?
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. I contend that the fanciest way to live your life at home in luxury and comfort is to wear a robe. So anytime I'm at home, I'm in my underwear and I throw a robe over top of myself. And tie my little waistband and it's super comfy and I would never do anything but it. It's the best way to live.
What do you think?
I'm in.
A couple weeks ago, you were wanting to be like, am I wrong? You came to me and said that you wanted to produce a series. Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, whatever happened? The robes. Butler, find out about the robes.
He forgot that he was part. Like you looked at when Zach was saying this, you were like, I would never do this. Horrible. And then I'm like. Didn't you get with Mark Villain of Villain Clothing?
Yeah,
and you want to do a series of like
silk robes?
Because that's what he's talking about, like a nice silk robe.
No, he's talking about a big cotton,
like a
trashy robe. Yeah, that's a straight up Roseanne trash.
That Terry Bradshaw wears when he goes downstairs to ask for extra pillows.
I need a variety of robes.
Yeah, I like the silk robe makes a statement that you're down for boofing. The terry cloth robe is just
down for
boofing.
How dare
I'm
you?
in a terry cloth robe in that TikTok video that I posted.
It's after a shower is fine, but it's like when you're lounging around the house.
Down for boofing. Sam, you know, Tom's new metal band
down
that he
with
started.
The boofness.
Yeah, he's down for the boofness.
I'm just saying, like
we might have to do that.
There's something trashy with a robe, unless you're in like the Hilton Hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
unless you're real fancy.
What about like at your spa? Like my wife, you get a spa robe.
If you're at a spa, that's. But if you're just like
a Four Seasons, they gave us robes. I wore them downstairs to the pool.
If you're sitting in your Ohio living room,
man, y'all are mean. Y'all are mean.
I'm just saying, you're smoking after your plumber job, and you're in your robe, a dingy yellow.
After you got a middle finger in traffic.
I think I like Sam and Tom being mean.
And then you're answering the door, and then you're like, you have pajama pants on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with the stupid? Like, why are you wearing a robe with pajama pants? You know.
So you say no to the robe?
Yeah.
Where are our robes? Are we getting Tom and Dan robes?
It's like the millions of ideas. I start it and then ADD to something else and forget. But you reminded me. I'll check.
No, I didn't actually.
Although Mark's probably mad. He's like, Jesus Christ.
You're
emailing a crazy new idea.
This White Claw, a penis tube. And we've done nothing but waste Mark Villain's time.
Yeah. I asked him about the robe, too. And he's like, I'm going to. And then
why is he friends with us?
I haven't figured that out.
He's really, really nice. And so, hey, by the way, if you're into his clothing, they have a big Cinco de Mayo deal. Jump on their website, Villain Clothing. Find it because it'll go very fast. In fact, you heard it from me. This is their biggest time of year, right? Isn't this their? This is like Villain's holiday. Yeah,
we'll ruin it for sure. I know that for sure.
Yep.
Bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here. I would like to remind you that I tidy up all of our live Twitch broadcasts. I edit them, color correct them, add little things to them if need be, and I replay them on YouTube. And you can check out our YouTube page. Just search Tom and Dan Live. It's really, really good. There's all of our Swervey Jones cartoons, hundreds of cartoons on there, hundreds of shows on there, all the content, any guests that we've had in here, comedian interviews. It's a really good YouTube channel. Again, Tom and Dan Live.
Cool. Let's, what email do we got?
Okay, this is about our app, the Tom and Dan app. Hello. You guys are my favorite podcast to listen to. Thank you for all the content.
Next email.
I listen to my BDM shows the least due to the app. Is there any chance you can update it to work with Bluetooth earbud commands such as pause play feature?
Oh, that would be a nice one.
It would be nice if it worked with a 10 or 30 second advance and rewind feature too, but the pause and play would be most helpful. Also, the app seems to crash and freeze a lot and not hold my place on an episode. I tend to screenshot it to help keep track myself. I don't know if you've made any updates since I last used the app, so my list that causes it to freeze might be outdated. I do have a Galaxy Note 10 Plus and usually download the episodes. I know a listener called in saying after a phone call, the app starts playing automatically. Same with a timer. Sorry this is long. Please know I only wish you all the best and appreciate all you guys are doing.
See, what I'm hearing is we're close.
So,
no, she's sweet. Thank you for your email. Hey, and thanks for actually going into detail, because that's exactly what I need.
Yes.
Yeah, and also, you may have an easier time. Okay, this is the truth about the app is, and this is becoming a thing, apparently, from more like people we've talked to and app builders.
Well,
and
from
stuff.
our perspective, certainly, in our business.
So what's happening is that Apple and Google are making things and like stipulations for apps in their platform.
Yeah, and they're
on
adding
their
a lot,
platform.
and it's a lot of good stuff. They're adding a lot of functionality. Your screens are getting more vivid and better. But with all of that, it does change the amount of things that we have to check off before our app is compliant,
Yes.
before our app is good.
Yes.
So yeah, these are great things. This isn't like they're not doing, I don't believe they're doing this in any way to like try and make our lives terrible. But yeah, as technology marches on and things, functionality gets better, they're going to want us to add and be, compliant to what they want.
Yes, and the problem is that for small companies like ourselves, it's expensive to try to make our app compliant, and it's becoming more and more expensive to the point where it's seemingly like they're pushing out all the small companies that have apps, right? And then wanting to just do, because it's easier, like, for them, as far than having a bunch of companies have apps out there that may not be exactly standard to all what they want. They're going to want a uniformity, which I understand, but it does then, it kind of pushes out all the small guys and then makes, the big companies that can have a team that constantly updates their app to work with all the different phones.
Yeah, like we have to do ours in batches. I would love for us to be the type of app that we could do monthly updates. Always tweaking, always massaging it. Because that really is how you get a great app.
It's thousands of dollars,
It is.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
thousands.
And then so you were running into that problem. So then with every new phone, there's a new, like, oh, well, this phone has a little different screen, so your app has to be compliant with this phone. If you're not compliant, we're going to boot you out of there. If if you try to do an update and this isn't on there, then we're not going to approve you.
Yeah, well, and they check to make sure everything on your app works. If you have something on there that might be a little hard for them to understand, they'll flag it and say, hey, that doesn't look right.
So my advice to people, if they're listening to our regular shows, non-BDM shows, because that's the problem, is like, we don't have an easy way besides our own app for BDMs to listen to BDM content besides on the website, right? We finally spent a bunch of money to be able to have, this was years ago, but the BDM shows on our app. So now if you're listening to regular shows, obviously you can go through Apple Podcasts or Google Play, and then their app works pretty damn good because there you go, billions.
Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of those work really well.
You can't listen to BDM shows, so then we're working on it now. But believe me, we started about a month ago looking into
Spotify.
all this.
We're on Spotify. I never say that. We're on Stitcher. Anywhere. We're on all those aggregators.
So with those, their pause button and their functionality is going to be better. They have $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to just make it functionality.
But behind
as
the
best
scenes,
as possible.
we're working on some things. We love the company we're working with now. We've reached out to other people that might have additional knowledge. We've reached out to other podcasters that we know to kind of see how they're doing it. So yeah, we're definitely getting there, and we're going to figure something out that's a little bit better. We haven't forgotten about you guys. It's just I wish the process was faster, and that's the thing is I get bummed out that I can't give like this lady, she is so kind to send that email because she took time. It's a long ass email. She took like 20 minutes.
And she was nice. She wasn't,
Well, she was awesome to take time out of her day to help our show.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And thank you.
We may have to, figure out a different way in the future to distribute the BDM shows or like a workaround. We'll look into it. But just like everything, like when everything explodes onto the market, like apps did and stuff, and then there's always a, some period where they try to clean it up, and I think they're in that like area now. It just sucks because guess who gets hurt first? The little guy. Just like everything.
And you're seeing it with like even Google. Like I know on the Android side of things, they've always been a little more loose when it comes to apps and stuff like that. But as they continue to get bigger and as they continue to embrace podcasting the way that Apple did from jump, they're even tightening up things as well. I mean, at the end of the day, they are businesses and they want uniformity across their platforms, and I can certainly understand that.
But and they also can do anything they want because it's a monopoly between Android and Apple. Like they control the phone business.
Yeah,
like
we're pretty much just there.
There's very little other competition, right? Everybody's got an Apple or Android phone. So when the whole world has that,
I wouldn't even know where you'd go to get something other than that.
So a company could be like, well, screw you, either comply or you're not allowed to have an app. And to some small businesses, that's their only business. So if they're not able to comply,
what's Wordabug's going to do?
These regulation, it's like, well, then you're out of business because it's $5,000 a month to hire a team to comply with all the new rules. And if you can't do that, then that's it. Then you can't. But they'll say, well, you could still be in business. You just can't have an app. And then you're like, well, that's my whole business,
right.
So it's sketchy.
But we'll give you the honesty. We'll tell you exactly what we're up
working
against.
on solutions.
We're working on solutions. So we got a couple irons in the fire. We'll see how they pan out.
This one is about Tom's porn calendar. Hey,
okay,
T&D.
we get too many of these.
Well, that tells me other people
exactly, and it happened to this guy.
A lot of dads out
he
there.
says, "Hey T&D, I was on a site and this popped up. I'm guessing Tom clicked it. Hopefully, this helps get rid of the porn dates on his calendar."
Does this look
so
familiar?
a little pop-up comes up that
Put
says,
it on the camera
"Add
too, Sam.
calendar subscription. Would you like to subscribe to? Click OK to continue."
That looks like something you might have breezed through, right? Because it looks official.
I don't know. I don't know. No, well, also,
individual
can't
events
see.
in subscription calendars cannot be deleted. You can remove calendar subscriptions in calendar or settings. So you have to go in and manually remove the subscription setting.
And you might want to change your background screen to not be a picture of Annabelle Danger. Very odd.
Yes.
Got a problem.
I definitely clicked on one of these things by accident. Obviously, to get it.
I like beer. That's what I heard.
We know.
That's what I heard.
We're
open,
Me,
baby.
it's Tinky, Little Joe,
Pete, Sideways Johnny.
We all like beer.
Yeah, Randy Rascals, he was there as well. Occasionally, even Charlotte would stop by. She was okay. Lesbian.
Yeah. So I got to go in my settings and change. It's funny. We're at the bank and Crystal.
What, you just couldn't stop looking at porn.
Oh man!
But
oh my god,
Crystal,
turn your volume down.
This is taking too long.
I was going through my phone and she's like, "You know how many things you got open?" And I was terrified. She was like scrolling up to like delete. I was waiting for
black.com.
I was waiting for something.
Do you know how many times I want to steal the beginning of a black.com video and put it at the beginning of one of our daily videos where it just says, "Do you have a big penis?" And then nobody's seen that? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I know you have. You just didn't want to admit it.
I clicked on it.
It's on his calendar.
You can steal it though. You can steal everything.
There's no rules there.
No one's gonna nothing.
Yeah, I know. There's no rules there.
Well, the internet, there's
and that whole category of porn is eating itself because it's racist. Yeah, it's amazing.
What else was that?
Cruising. I heard you on the radio this morning talking with the cruise director. You mentioned you would like to cruise on a fast ship that serves alcohol. The Key West Express out of Fort Myers to Key West is an awesome ride you should look into.
That sounds like something.
It's a high-speed catamaran.
Yeah, high-speed catamaran with Tom and Dan.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I went on one of these. Remember, we had a partnership in the radio days with a company, and then there's a high-speed catamaran that went from West Palm Beach.
High-speed catamaran.
To the Bahamas, and it
wasn't it sketchy?
It's not what you would imagine.
Were you terrified?
No,
or was your wife Somebody I thought didn't like it.
It's imagine I'm trying to think. Imagine the Megabus on skis.
It's the funniest thing.
This would be a great go-to show.
Yeah.
Dude, we gotta do it.
It's the Megabus on skis. Now a little nicer because you're like, you're going
drinks.
You're going to the Bahamas and not Tallahassee or whatever.
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing you've ever said.
But there's a lot of, hey, you could just put all your luggage in the back, but just there's no rhyme or reason. Just put it.
Is it hauling ass?
It gets up there, but it doesn't go that fast. So it's not like you're in some high-speed train.
I want like yang, 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 yang. I want like that turn down for what video where that bald man goes smashing into the side of it.
No, it's not that fast because it's still it's like a big-ass boat. It's kind of like, imagine, remember the boat I got married on? It's like...
He always has to mix that into conversation to knock me down a peg.
It's like something like that, but it just has a bunch of bus seats. Like
All right.
And then the bottom, and then it has like...
Is there rum punch?
It has a bar.
Yes, all right.
And like a food and drink thing where you can get like a bag of Cheetos and like 151, a screwdriver. Screwdriver to Michelob Ultra.
I'll take one bag of your Gardettos and 2 Bahama Mamas, please.
Yeah. And so
it reaches an average cruising speed of 34 knots.
Yeah,
that goes.
That's like 35 miles an hour.
That's
like
moving.
It's faster than like what you would be in any other like ferry or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a high speed ferry.
Yeah, that's basically what it looks like.
Which is a punchline to one of our pop-up shows.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure my dad told me the one about the high speed ferry.
And so
which is also what he called Jeff Gordon.
It's like a lot of things where you think it sounds super fancy and you think it's going to be super fancy. And then when you're on it, you're like, oh, yeah, it's only...
It's not that fancy.
It's only $60 a ticket. Of course it's not that fancy.
Well, boats,
like
if in order to be fancy... The boat needs to be owned by you.
Yes,
if you're on the boat, it's not fancy. You're either a prisoner, you're on a Carnival cruise, or you're on this thing that Tom is saying not fancy. Name a fancy boat. Most cruises are not even really.
There's two fancy boats. You own it yourself, or you're chartering it. That's a difference.
Charter a yacht.
Yeah. Like a fishing boat or something.
Well, sometimes we've chartered fishing boats before, and it's we pay money to these guys and they're a-holes to us. Because we can't bait anything, and then they refer to us as like some sort of gay landlubber. They're mean, and they think we're effeminate because we're just not fish people. I just don't know how to do this, man. I didn't grow up in the ocean.
Yeah.
Why are you belittling me?
If you go to the that's a low tier charter.
I've never had a good charter.
That's the low tier. Yeah, they do higher tier charters.
I've never had anything good.
You start you're paying $5,000 for the day, and then that's where you get.
Oh, they do everything.
Yeah. That's where they're not making fun of you. The ones you paying $1,300 with you and 10 your college buddies.
Do you want a fun fact?
They're calling you gay.
Exactly. Do you want a fun fact? And this even goes for a White Claw fishing boat. I have never been on somebody's boat or a charter to go deep sea fishing where the guy that was supposed to show up as the assistant was the same guy as the guy he said was coming. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because it's hard to find first mates because they're all on Oxycontin.
Yes, thank you. They are all on Oxycontin. Every single time a captain has told me, oh, my buddy X is coming, he'll be helping out for the day, it's never that guy. It's we had to call Steve at the last minute.
Because that guy's getting tips and then basically gets to kind of fish for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically all he's getting, maybe.
And he's mad at you the whole time because he's baiting your hook. He's cleaning up your mess.
Yeah, and because now it's like the diesel fuel and those things are so expensive, especially up here. Like you have to go out, and we're calling it deep sea. It's offshore technically, but you're going out so far, they're burning $250 worth of diesel fuel, and then
they don't want you out there.
So it's like with the you're paying off the thing, the bait, the other, you have some ice, and then all of a sudden like the captain's making $300, and then the owner of the boat, that's not a captain's boat, like someone else owns that, or a company owns it, and they use it, those things are insanely expensive.
Except the airboat captain we met who pulled up at the.
It gets smaller.
That guy was a better job because he pulled up in his convertible Beamer. He got out. He looked like Ron White.
Yeah.
And he just got out, and he walked over to whatever airboat was the one he's piloting for the day. It wasn't his.
No, yeah. That's because
that guy was awesome.
What is it? What is that place called?
The River Ranch.
River Ranch.
The Westgate River
Ranch.
Ranch.
Corporation. They just hire a local guy that knows
he
how
had
to
the
drive
best
an
job
airboat.
I've ever seen.
There are private cruise ships. They're not like they're probably they're like a size of a Tiger Woods yacht, or like I'm saying, like a yacht, private yachts that you could rent out with like you and 20 friends or whatever. But it's insane, like $50,000 or like $80,000 for whatever.
That sounds awesome.
But it's that experience. You get to live like a rich
like the
person.
private chef.
Yes.
Well, then you're like that show. What is it? Below Deck or whatever.
Yeah. And there's different versions of that.
Yeah.
It's all smaller, like because yachts are. I forgot what they only have to be a certain foot like vessel to be considered a yacht. And some of them, you could rent out all of them, and like come with a crew or whatever, and like you could live like that, but it's insanely expensive. Like obviously, we're talking like $50,000.
That's insane. What else you got for emails?
Okay, this one says softball and Jimmy Buffett. Hey gang, I heard Daniel making the distinction of old versus new Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, there is a distinction.
I 100% agree, Dan. Old Jimmy Buffett is some good stuff. Don't sleep on A Pirate Looks at 40 or Come Monday.
Yeah, those are great songs.
I don't know those. Secondly, I heard Sam's plan to crash Little League games. Sam, try gay softball. Way more fun than some boring-ass kids. They have games every Sunday at Lake Fairview, and it is a drag queen / tailgate crazy and a lot of fun. That does sound like fun. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, I would go to that.
All right.
Do they really play? That'd be fun as hell.
He says every Sunday.
I miss the brunch at Bananas. I haven't been out to do nothing. I used to love going to see them on roller skates.
The brunches are coming back.
Yeah, man.
They're open, baby.
I like that kind of stuff.
Did you play baseball or anything as a kid?
Was never a baseball guy. Went right to soccer. I was all about the soccer.
I cannot hit a ball with a bat. I didn't grow up playing.
Not even like in the neighborhood?
I don't believe that. You're pretty good at sports.
No.
In Miami?
No.
I do not believe that. Is
No.
it like the skipping thing? Is it in that category?
It just I never developed that coordination, that hand-eye with a baseball and a ball. Like,
I played softball at
football.
church, and my dad played in our Trinity United Methodist Church. They had a softball league. My dad played in that. I would hang out. He played in that for years. We'd hit, I've hit a ball, but I wouldn't say I'm in any way, shape, or form good at it.
I was pretty good when I was a kid.
I'm not good.
But I didn't play for like any team. We would just play in the neighborhood, like the neighborhood kids.
But if you go to batting cages, you could swing and hit it. Yeah,
I went like last year.
The timing, like I'd never developed the right timing
Glasses
to be
or
able
no
to hit.
Glasses?
Huh?
Did you have your glasses on?
No. Well, this is a year. I mean, my whole life.
This is over your life.
Well, even
okay.
I remember we'd go to batting cages in like 20s and like college or whatever. I could never hit the ball. Like maybe I get lucky once, but it never. Like I would swing too late or too early or whatever it is. Like the timing was all off. I didn't develop the skill hitting. Like we never played baseball growing up. Even as a kid, it was like always football in the streets or soccer. But never baseball.
Football. We did football in the streets, and then we do Dungeons and Dragons in the sheets.
I don't even remember like baseball being a. Although you think of Miami, there would be.
That's why I was
a big thing.
confused.
It was big at DeLand. We were all about baseball, man. Like Stetson was a great baseball team. DeLand
and when
High had
you're
a
poor,
great
you
baseball
can
team.
play baseball with anything. Tennis ball and a stick.
Yeah, but we went into skateboarding and punk rock and that. You know what I'm saying?
But when you were little?
When I was little, it was football and soccer. Like it never.
We played football and baseball and basketball.
I didn't have a baseball glove. Maybe it was because
Nobody had gloves.
I
You
had
just
a glove.
catch it with your hand.
No, my dad bought me a glove and he oiled it and then he wrapped it up. We put the ball in. He wrapped it with the rubber bands and then he would play catch with me.
Yeah. My dad died, so he maybe we missed that. That was 10 years old, so
maybe he had the glove with the ball in it wrapped up on the boat.
We didn't have any of that. Baseball glove catch. Yeah,
why'd you bring that up, Sam? My God.
No, I just
apologies.
Horrible
But I
thing
do
to
want to
bring
go
up.
see this drag queen softball. I'm in.
But I'm so confident. I think I could hit more.
Let's go to the
balls
batting cages
than
for
Samantha
a show.
could.
Well,
Let's do it.
Well, that's not fun. Why don't you try and hit more than Butler, who already said via text to me that he's a better baseball player?
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. And he also said the reason your fingers on your right hand are black is because your baseball glove's too loose.
Butler, did you play baseball?
Of course he did.
A little
They didn't have
bit.
baseball in Britain.
In Britain. He's from Virginia.
Virginia.
They don't have British baseball.
British baseball.
They got this stupid weird thing with the
Cricket.
flat. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they got.
Let's do a cricket off.
No, that's something I've never even seen that before. Like, I've never
The
seen
bat
that on
is
purpose.
flat, right?
Yeah.
The bat is flat, like the one
Like
that
a
you're supposed
paddle.
to hit frat boys on their butts with when
Yeah.
you're having a little bit of horseplay.
I've never seen a cricket field or anybody even hit a ball with a cricket bat.
I
or-
did in the Bahamas. There was a cricket match going on when I was touring a pirate museum.
Yeah,
And
it's big in the islands.
and I
yeah.
was more pissed that I was at the pirate museum because I wanted to go watch cricket because it looked more fun. They had beers and they were sitting there watching these guys and they were all dressed up really nice and they were playing. And I remember everybody's mad at me because I wanted everybody to go to this pirate museum and it sucked.
Norm has a batting cage right down the street from him. Let's go
Wait.
Uh,
meet up with Norm.
Oh, what's the bet?
Wait, is Norm going to stand there and take a ball directly into his ginormous gunt?
If it's who can hit the most balls at like the same mile an hour?
What's the winner get?
I don't
Deep
know.
sea fishing trip?
I don't even want that.
I don't either. Nobody wants that. Every time
Offshore.
okay, I'll be honest with you. Every time I've been out deep sea fishing, it takes too long.
Yeah.
I need a TikTok version, 15 seconds.
You
Once
need
she's on
the
the
Key
hook,
West Express
I
to
need
take
it,
you out there.
I need it fast. Every time I'm out there, like this is taking too long.
You had to grow up. It's like baseball. You had to grow up playing it to appreciate it. If you didn't, you're not gonna like it.
It's just every time I go, and then I don't think I've ever been out there like everybody's, oh man, we were deep sea fishing. Look, I caught this marlin. I've been out deep sea fishing maybe 9, 10 times. I don't think I've ever caught anything other than stinky flounder, some garbage, like some old.
the marlin are dead. They're all dead.
One my about the size of a sandwich. Great job.
Yeah, you're not catching anything. They fish those out. They're all dead. So like all those giant prize fish. You see, yeah, they're dead.
And then right about the time that like I'm doing it, and I got my line, and we're doing it. We'll go someplace else. We're doing it a little bit more, and then doing it, and then I'm like, this is
It's
we're not
hard.
doing nothing.
Yeah. It's you have to grow up doing this like hunting. If you didn't grow up hunting, it'd be hard for you to get into it as an adult. Like,
yeah,
it's nostalgia.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen a friend of mine that later in life he turned like 40 and he's like, you know what?
I think that's called the Freddy.
Is that what he's doing? He's like, I'm gonna try hunting.
All of a sudden, he's a redneck in Geneva.
Yeah, but I feel like he had a redneck family. Like, so there's something.
Is it
there.
in the blood at all there? It's
Like
gotta be in the blood.
My dad here. I think you have to do it because my dad was a hunter, but I was too young. I never went out hunting.
No, my
with
dad
him,
wasn't
you know?
a hunter.
But he was.
But a
I
lot
was
of
around it, like hogs.
A lot of these generational
bleeding.
hunters bring their young kids, like when they're young, they start like teaching them how to hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
But
think
I was an early.
I think my dad was like, oh, you
My
gay.
dad.
you know, guy, he's not good up for it.
My dad.
He's gonna marry a woman that loves animals.
I can see it in his
Yeah.
eyes. He's gonna marry one that's soft for the old puppies. Yeah. No, I remember. My dad was just a ski boatman. He was just a party ski boatman. So I was always on our ski boat. That's it.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
whatever you grow up doing, most likely that's where
I
you.
watched my dad do drugs and get drunk every day.
Yeah.
This checks out.
Yeah.
Because it's like anything. Like a lot of this stuff isn't fun unless you have nostalgia attached to it, right? Because the actual act. Like even like golf. If you don't know how to play golf, you didn't grow up playing
it's
golf.
miserable.
Then going out there because you're not good at it is hard. You're like
Then you're
you're
just hiking.
and you have to you're just walking around hitting balls into the water, into the woods, or whiffing them. You know, like driving on. Maybe you like driving the golf cart, getting drunk. Like that's part of it. But the actual playing the golf, if you don't know how to do it, it's not fun. You know, because you're not good at it. It's the same thing with like if you didn't grow up hunting or fishing. Like think about like bass fishing. You're just like going out on like a river or lake
With no breeze.
and a lot of the time you're just casting and catching
Florida.
nothing, right? You have to be good. You have to get good at it.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have any nostalgia, they brings back memories
Or
of
I
knowledge.
happiness.
have terrible nostalgia about fishing. I hated fishing
The
when I was a
parks.
kid.
I didn't like. I went to the parks a little bit growing up, but not that much. So I don't have the nostalgia for the theme park. So it's miserable to me.
Right. Yeah.
So when I go there,
that totally makes sense.
all I see is the on paper standing in long ass lines with the sea of humanity that stinks. and I don't want to be there. So I'm like, but if you have nostalgia attached to it, it brings you happiness.
Yeah.
Right. So there's
Totally
a lot of
agree.
stuff like that. Playing pool. If you don't know how to play, you didn't grow up playing pool, it's like not fun for you.
Okay, when you and I played pool in Colorado, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Because I grew up playing pool.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to test the theory. I grew up playing it at my buddy David Smith's house. Absolutely. And to this day, if you put a pool table next to a jukebox, I'm game because his mom has, man, I hope Gail still has this. She had a classic jukebox from the 50s that they didn't redo it. They let it patina, and then they would update the records and then change the little things in there. And I loved it, dude. I loved it. You just have, and it was real records. It wasn't CDs. It was so awesome.
So there's a lot, and a
Sorry,
lot of this
I floated
stuff
off there for a second.
you have to just sit around and do there's a lot of doing nothing involved with it. So fishing, hunting, it's a lot of just waiting.
Yeah.
And then with that comes like the drinking or whatever, or hanging out with your buddies. Yeah,
I like being.
Anything to waste time.
Yeah, but then it's like, all right, well, do you like hunting or do you like drinking in the woods with your buddies?
With a gun.
Yeah, with a gun. Shooting the gun
That
at
sounds
animals.
fun. Let's do that.
Because then now you're.
I don't know. The woods got me scared right now.
If you
I like
guys-
getting drunk and shooting my gun at
if
animals.
you-
Like, all right, well, now we're
Wow.
talking.
Sometimes, I mean, if you said, "Hey, you want to go in the woods and drink beer and shoot guns?" I'd be like, "Yeah." If you said you want to go hunting, I'd be like, "That's boring."
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Right.
but
It's the way you frame it.
Yeah, it's all in how you frame it.
But then there's different levels. The guys that are really into it have the full deal. They're up in the tree by themselves. They've been out there for 18 hours waiting. Then it's the guys that just go out, drink beer with guns, and shoot at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our Twitch chat room, Abraham Dragon Friend says, "I judge someone by their ability to take a fish off a hook."
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not. I won't say I'm good at it. I can do it, but I would prefer to have the.
If you
glove.
never learned, how are you gonna?
I would prefer to have the glove so I don't have to hold it a certain way to keep its spines from going into my hand.
I got a hook in the thumb when I was a kid.
And I don't want to go hook out of its mouth. I prefer to just take like a cleaver and lop its head off and then just throw the hook line and the whole. I would prefer just to pitch the rod into the ocean and get a new one from my quiver.
You know what I never got good at is when they swallowed the hook and then it's all just wrapped up. I'm like, this thing is dead, bro. Like I can't. And then I'm like,
where it's inside?
Yeah. Like where if it's not in their
you gotta
fish
keep
mouth,
pulling until everything comes out.
but then I'm just
fishing is terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible.
Because like at that point, I'm just like, well, I'm cutting it and leaving it inside.
Well, you
It'll
put it-
rust out or it's dead or whatever. I
You
don't
put
care.
it in a cooler and then you shut it and you keep the light in there so you don't have to witness it and you just pull it straight out. You see what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah. But then there's a real men that can do it and like save the fish with little damage. And I'm like, wow.
like, hold on, it's wrapped around its small intestines.
But that's the thing. Like, how can you judge someone if they didn't grow up fishing? Of course, they don't know how to take a hook out of a fish's mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why would you judge them? Like, if you didn't grow up doing that, you're not going to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it. It's like,
Well, maybe you don't want to know how to do it. Like my dad, I'm pretty sure my dad tried to show me a bunch of times. I was like, this is gross.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even think I like it.
Right.
I think fish are kind of terrible.
but also, it's if you're
I'll
not,
eat 'em.
if you're not getting enjoyment, because really, it's not. There's a certain excitement level catching a fish, reeling it in, like you're not knowing it's a surprise. Like I understand the psychology behind it. It's kind of like gambling. You're like a lot of like pulling the slot machine wheel and you lose a lot, but that one time you win, it's super
Yeah,
exciting.
felt
But
great.
but you've lost hundreds of dollars. You won 20, but you only remember the 20, right? So
Yeah.
you've been out there for hours and you caught one fish. But that one fish, you remember that.
Yeah.
You don't remember the hours of nothing.
Yeah, I don't
So-
remember the hours of being miserable on the ski boat. I remember the fun I had skiing with my dad. You're right.
And then it's a hard thing to do. So then you catch it. It's like you take a picture with it. It's like, oh, I got some excitement. But not worth it. 4 hours of casting. And you know what I'm saying? Like, if you really put it on paper, you'd have to grow up doing it, I think, to get optimal enjoyment.
I think you're right. Now, look, we're at a crossroads here. Shall we continue? We can. I say power through
If we're doing this for Tuesday, we do have to pork.
We're doing good on emails. I mean, unless you want to save the 10, we can go bye-bye now.
God, I can't make a decision.
I'll do it. Bye-bye.